know that you spend a third of your life sleeping? Quick raise of hands, show me. Did you guys know that? All right, so you spend a third of your life sleeping. Today I'm going to inform you about oneirology, which is the scientific study of dreams. First, we're going to talk about where it is and where it came from. Then we're going to talk about REM sleep, and then we're going to talk about non-REM sleep. So let me tell you about oneirology. So oneirology it stemmed from the Greek word oneiron. It was first coined in 1653 by a man named Marquis de Henry Saint Denis. And then recently, in the last 50 years, it was more researched by two men by the name of Keetman and William Dennett. I think they're brothers. Basically, they talked about REM sleep, and REM sleep is rapid eye movement. It's when you're sleeping, your eyes moving rapidly and stuff. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about REM sleep. So REM sleep, we spend 90 to 120 minutes of our sleeping in REM sleep. It takes up 20 to 25% of our time of our sleep. When we're REM sleeping, our heart rate increases, blood pressure increases, but our muscles don't relax as they stay more intense. We become more, when you're REM sleeping, you start to dream more visible dreams, more things that you can remember. So how many of you remember your dream last night or the night before? Really? Yeah. So I always remember my dreams, pretty much. I think that comes from REM sleep. So just remember when you're sleeping and you wake up, you're like, oh, I remember my dream. It's very visible. That was REM sleep. So now we're going to talk about NREM, which is non-REM sleep. Non-REM sleep has 3 stages. The first stage is when you're like, I'm like kind of tired, and like you're between drowsy and non-drowsy. I mean, between drowsy and like I'm fighting to stay up. It's right when your eyes start flickering and you're like, oh shoot, here it comes. So that is about non-REM sleep is 40 to 50% of your sleep time. When you're in non-REM sleep, it's more when you start to become less conscious of the outside world, when you start to zone out people and like what they're saying and stuff, and when you're just not really there. Then you go into phase 2, and phase 2 is just when you're just getting into a deeper sleep. Most people don't remember their sleep when they're in non-REM sleep. And then you have stage 3, where you sleep, you're in deep sleep. That's what it is. I mean, you're not gonna really hear anybody or anything they're saying. The outside world becomes non-existent. You spend most of your time. Stage 3 is the time where you spend most of your sleep, and yeah, you spend most of your time in sleep. And then, so stage 3 is when you start, okay, so you sleep talk, you sleepwalk, then you wet the bed, and stuff like that. That's in stage 3. And then when you wake up from your sleep, like if you're awakened like abruptly, most people take about 30 minutes to wake up from their to really like get in action, get in full action, and really be there. So I could talk about this more, but we're gonna wrap this up, and I'm gonna tell you guys like about the REM sleep and all the stuff I just talked about. So babies are in REM sleep for 80% of their life. When they sleep, they're in 80%, and then That decreases as you get older and stuff. And when you get older, adults obviously they're not in REM sleep for that long. Non-REM sleep, everybody has these stages. You go through them, and that was my thing about